It used to kill me at my core when women said this stupid insult. And this is why they say it, because they know that they can cause emotional turmoil when you can't reciprocate necessarily the same way tumultuously that we pretend or we tend to prefer. Who hurt you is a term that women will often use to a guy who is trying to say anything in regards to holding a woman accountable. If you're out on a date with a group of girls and you're trying to kind of just paint women in general or paint their lack of accountability or their lack of, I don't know, sensibility, common sense, like survivability, if you're trying to like point any type of reality to their nature, they're going to proclaim to the entire world that you must be a man who is not emotionally capable of getting over a past trauma or hurt that one of her sisters put him through. And so they laugh at the past trauma and hurt that might have actually caused you pain beyond all measure. Now, what's interesting is this. We have sayings, even in reference to their beauty. Beauty is pain. No pain, no gain. No guts, no glory. Right? We have sayings. And there's other ones as well. I'm sure you'll be able to think of a few. Leave them in the comments if you want to. That reference the necessary evils that pain brings for growth. Even when you lose a tooth, when babies are teething, they cry because it hurts, but it's necessary that you go through that pain in order to realize, or for the baby's body to realize, the new set of teeth that it needs. Then it starts producing the new set of teeth. But they're going to tell you and tell me, oh, who hurt you? Well, there was multiple people that have hurt everybody, including myself, in the past, which is why we have that ability to grow and understand how it happened and to put forth the warnings how not to get hurt again. Only in a woman's mind can you break your arm and then be completely expected to just act and move along as if nothing happened. No, it depends on what you were doing. Now, if you were skateboarding when you broke your arm, you might go back on the board. A lot of people don't get back on the board because they're like, you know what, it's just not worth it. I'm not going to be a professional skateboarder. I just don't have it in me. If you broke your arm, driving, and it was just like a car accident or something like that, then you're going to be a lot more weary and you're probably going to drive a lot safer. If you were texting and driving, you're going to probably stop texting and driving as much. Some people don't. But the bigger message that I'm trying to make of that point is that you're going to let other people know more than likely what caused a really traumatic pain that you made it through, because you want to help other people avoid that pain. Like, that's what like humans do. That's what good people do. Like, excuse the fuck out of me, woman, for trying to warn of how less of a fuck you give about men's emotions than I could have ever conceived. And it's case in point, you making fun of a man's pain, or trying to, shame a man's pain because men can't feel pain. Who hurt you? Trying to belittle him or trying to subjugate him to him being a boy of sorts that can't grow, or that needs his mommy, or that, and he just kind of boo-boo on the playground, and oh, it's okay, little boy, because we're adults and we women, we're able to get past our pain and trauma. And no, you're not able to get past pain and trauma because a lot of you don't form meaningful connections. You're not like our bones. You're not dense. There's no ligaments. There's nothing that ties you together. You're just like a fucking classroom skeleton that you order off of Amazon. It looks like it could be real until you walk up and touch it, and you're like, oh, this is just an Amazon Halloween bone skeleton, right? This is not the real deal, obviously. And I hate to paint such a morbid scene or idea, but I want you to understand kind of where I'm coming from. They don't understand true emotions. They're so superficial, and they have so much access thanks to technology, that they don't take the time to form meaningful connections, right? The reality of it is, guys, we have less access to women. So when we finally get one that we think that is like, oh my God, I think we might have found one that's actually somewhat attractive, yada, yada, yada. You're trying to form as deep of a meaningful connection as you can. And a lot of the times they understand this and they'll lead you on, right? Sometimes they truly are in it, and then one day they just wake up and they're like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore, because again, there's a myriad of reasons. It doesn't really matter, right? But your pain is pain nonetheless. And that future that you might have seen with her, all these you didn't have any type of negative outlook on your future to cause this type of pain. No, it was caused by the realization that you're not going to have the outlook that you preferred with this person that you might have thought, right? And I'm not saying that guys are perfect, because guys aren't. Women definitely fucking aren't. But I'm not saying guys are perfect. That's not what I'm trying to explain. I'm just trying to say that a lot of, like in a lot of divorces, over 70% are initiated by the women, right? And the guy will actually try and stay and work things out. The woman will claim that he's not trying to work things out because he forgot to pick up his shoes from the front door. So at the end of it, that pain that you might have is going to be something that you're going to remember going forward, because you want to make sure that, as you do eventually get over it, right? Very few guys are walking around after 5 years still like, 5 years is a long time, but after 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, still talking about their exes and like still wallowing. After a year and a half, 2 years or so, even if it's a terrible breakup that you've with somebody you've been with for 3, 4, 5 years, you're kind of over it for the most part. Women are over it after a few months, because women are over it after a month or so, depending, man, because they're already done with it a few months prior, and they just pull away while they lead you to believe that they're still in the relationship. She could be having intercourse with you and everything could be fine like normal, and then the next day you come home and she's gone, right? But they've already disconnected, right, and probably started physically connecting with other people in the meantime, while you still been sitting there thinking everything's hunky-dory. So again, there's different levels of pain that we experience as men, because we don't connect to them the same way they connect to us. Especially now, there's an entire political movement or Democratic Party that represents women doing what the fuck they want to do and being supported by it, right? And this is why the fabric of our country is going down, and it's going downhill quickly, because as we start to have more and more people, think that this is the solution to their answers, the liberal Democratic Party, you're going to start to see less and less family structure. As you start to see less and less family structure, you'll start to see less and less gender identity, right? And what I mean by that is that traditionally we always had very specific to get big. "50 years in America, yada yada yada," and we could turn on some cool music and stuff like that too, and make other content. But yeah, no pain, no gain, no guts, no glory. Growing pains, like pain is very necessary. But again, you don't want to be breaking your fucking arm for your entire life. The fuck.